What's good with it, Pack family? This your boy, MrCheckMyResume. I'm here to bring you my watch list for the week of September the 25th. So without any delays, we're going to get right into the plays. So the first one we're going to get into is CCJ. This is one that we've been talking about for quite some time. Shout out that boy, Boss Game VIP. This one here has been one. He pointed out to the pack some time ago. We've been playing this one steadily to the upside. As we see this week, we had a bit of a TTO. We had price come back to the 50% of last week. And now we are looking at an inside week close. So I'm looking for a bullish continuation here on the week above $40.86. We did rev strat on the day here as well. Gave us a 122 day also on Friday. So looks like we're back in continuity. Looks like as long as we open up green on the week here. So that's the first one I have on my list. That is CCJ. And we will keep it moving here. The next one I have on my list. This is another one that I'm looking at to the downside. This is one that if you've been tracking with us, like on the live calls and things of that nature, you probably heard me talk about this quite a bit. But I like the way Apple's setting up here to the downside. We got a double inside week. And so let me get the chart up for you really quick, and you can see what I'm talking about. But Apple looks really good as potential downside move. So screen. There we go. There we go. Apple. So we got Apple. So we got Apple setting up. Give us a couple of different entries we're looking at here. Um, First, I'll talk about the day. We've got a rev strat potential on the day. We had a bit of a move to the upside on Friday, which pushed price up near the point of control at 177.79, but it didn't even get to that point. Um, Sellers started to come in, and price started to retrace back down. So we did have a two up on Friday, but we're now looking at a 2-2 day back to the downside to take us back into full time frame continuity below the level of 174.05. And then if you drop down to the week time frame, you've got double inside weeks. Price has been squeezing here. We're looking for a break to the downside to break this double inside week below 173.86. This is one I'll be tracking as well for entry. And just to kind of throw a couple things out there to do, depending on how price goes this week, we're currently inside of the month, but we could break below the month here to take us two down at 171.96, preferably. I like I like it to stay inside this week, so that would give us a range of about $3 and change for price to trade down. But I really like this thing to stay inside, but I may not get my wish on that. And then also we in the quarter here, we'll most likely end the quarter two up. I don't see us going all the way outside this quarter, so we are setting up for a macro reversal to the downside on Apple as well. So we're looking at some triggers that are kind of moving in a domino effect. So shout out that boy FICO. You already know what that means. So that's Apple, and that's one that we'll be tracking in the pack. We'll be looking at this one, and this should give us some inclination on how the rest of the market is going to be behaving as well. So shout out Apple. So I got another downside move for you all. We're going to slide over to the consumer staples area. We had a couple of those like KHC, for example, catch up. That one actually had some relative strength and really stayed strong throughout some of this bearish activity. But we did have a good bit of this sector get pulled down. And I'm looking at K Rogers, what we call it in the pack, but we're looking at Kroger. KR is the ticker. So Kroger, we also have a double inside week here. And let me get you the chart so you can see what I'm talking about. And see here on Kroger, we've got double inside weeks. We already went two down on the day Friday. Looks like buyers stepped in a little bit, kind of take it off the lows. but we're still not enough strength to kind of take price upward. So we're looking at this thing really to take us a trigger after these prices. Looks like price has been squeezing on the week. So once we kind of break this level to the downside, in my opinion, we'll start to make a move towards the $44 range. But we're looking at lows of about 45.40 as an entry point on the week, and then we can see this thing start to push down. And then we're still inside on the quarter as well. So as we're coming to a close of this quarter, we got to get below 43.56, which is about a $2 move to take out the quarter. So if we do not take the quarter out, but we do trigger the week, there's potential for 212 down on the quarter. But we've got to see how price behaves this week as well. So we could get a little bit of choppiness before price decides to move down. We're right under a weekly broadening formation as well. So a couple things to see there with Kroger. So like that one as well. Just another thought and another example of an opportunity here that we can see to the downside. And then I want to give you one more ticker, and then I'll get you guys up out of here. And that is Dropbox. You know, shout out that Boss Game VIP. You know, we'll play that DBX when it gives us an opportunity. So I'm looking at DBX here. It's actually been pretty darn strong this year, but looking at DBX, looks like we had a breakout recently. We're still currently inside on the month, but I'm looking at a weekly opportunity here, 322 potentially. And so, let me show you what I'm talking about here on the charts. Slow. There we go. All right. So on the week here, we see we went outside 2 weeks ago, and we came back with a strong 2-down week off of this quarterly broadening formation range right here. So we're looking at a potential entry to the upside here. And we're looking at an entry above $27.14. There is a weekly broadening formation, I guess you could say close to the 27.35 area, but it also puts you in a volume gap or near the top of a volume gap. So you can see price move to that area and maybe consolidate or maybe retrace a little bit. But we got targets of all the way up to about 27.65, which is our daily point of control, and then 28.50 to go back and retest that 28.50 range. There's a weekly broadening formation there. So that's kind of what my outlook looks like on DBX. You know, we'll have to do some work to take the month back green above $28. So if we close the month inside, which is what we're likely to do, then we're looking at a potential 212 on the month, but it's continuation, which essentially means we had a TTO on the month this month. So looking at DBX here for a potential move back to the upside. And that'll conclude my watch list. And then I'll turn it back over to the bros. And if you want to get my full watch list, then you can tap in with the Alphapack. Right now, we got a 7-day trial going. So if you want to tap in with us, you can take 7 days to see what it means and what it looks like to be in the pack before you make that full commitment. So tap in with us while the offer remains. But with that, y'all have a great one. Peace.